So yes. Good evening, everyone. This side Dr. Abhijeet, and welcome to the session on neuroanatomy, where I will be covering cerebrum today, the part one of cerebrum. Yes. So before starting with the session, just give me a thumbs up in the chat box if the audio and visuals are perfectly fine. The cozy kitchen. Good evening, beta. What about the rest, guys? Just let me know if the audio and visuals are perfectly fine, guys. Yes. I'm just waiting for your thumbs up, guys, right? So, yes. Dr. Akhilesh, good evening. Good evening. Vaishnavi, Chamala, good evening. Beta Ramya, good evening. Yes, perfect, sir. Dr. Akhilesh, okay. Dr. Sanjay Raj, hello, beta. So let us start with the cerebrum today. Yes, let us just start with the cerebrum today. Ramya, everything is right. Shiva Kasi, very good evening, beta. Very good evening. So let us start with the cerebrum today. So yes, sure. Yes, Abdul Sabur. Yes. Okay. Let us start with the cerebrum today. So please, guys, try to draw each and every diagram. Yes. Mulai Vendan, I will be discussing the cerebrum today as of now. Yeah. So the topic of discussion for today will be cerebrum. Please try to write along with me, try to draw along with me, guys. I will be drawing a lot of diagrams in this. Yes. So please try to like focus with me. And the part like it is cerebrum 1, I will be covering it in 2 or 3 sessions mainly. So the very first part, yeah, today that we are going to start. So let us understand some basic points regarding the cerebrum, guys. Yes. Now, you already know that it is the largest part. It is the largest part of the brain. It is the largest part of the brain, right? It is the largest part of the brain. Now, guys, you already know if we just take a sagittal section, guys, if we just take a section over here, you guys already know that the cerebrum, yes, the cerebrum, guys, it is just like this, right? And below the cerebrum, we have the midbrain, right? Then we have, yes, the pons, the medulla oblongata. Behind we have the cerebellum, right? And yes, we have the spinal cord, that is the continuation of this medulla oblongata. We have the cerebellum, right? Cerebellum. Then we have pons, midbrain. Above we have the diencephalon, and yes, we over here it is the cerebrum. Cerebrum. So it is the largest part of the brain. I have taken a section, right? And guys, remember this cerebrum. It is basically divided into. It is divided into. Yes, this continuation. It is the spinal cord, that is of the medulla oblongata, right? So it is divided into right and left cerebral hemispheres, right? So guys, just remember they are divided into right and left cerebral hemispheres. Now let us just try to see over here. Yes, I'm just trying to draw very simple, guys, for you people. Let us suppose that this is the cerebral hemisphere, right? Yes, they are divided into two cerebral hemispheres, the right and the left cerebral hemisphere, right? So remember that they are divided by the help of, okay, there is a fissure in between, guys, and exactly in the midline there is a fissure, there is an opening in the midline, and that is called as the median longitudinal cerebral fissure. Median means exactly in the midline, yes, and it is the longitudinal. Basically it is running longitudinally from front to back, right? It is longitudinal. Yes, it is the cerebral. General anatomy I have completed, beta. You can just watch it on the live section of this particular channel. You will get it, right, beta? Cerebral fissure. Fissure is just like an opening, guys. Median longitudinal cerebral fissure. Now these are what? These are what? So let us suppose this is the right cerebral hemisphere and this is the left cerebral hemisphere. Right? Now let it be like accordingly correct to this anatomical position only. So yes, right and the left cerebral hemispheres, and they are basically yes, in between we have a fissure that is called as the medial longitudinal fissure. Yes, only till part 7 beta. Only till part 7, that is like more than enough. Now guys, at floor of this fissure, basically the floor entirely on the top guys, this is a fissure, and as soon as it goes down on the floor part guys, you will get okay a mass of white matter guys. So yes, at floor of this fissure, remember guys, at floor of this fissure, yes, that 7 lectures are more than enough, Angel. And yes, you can start with these neuroanatomy series. Yes, very good, 100. It is corpus callosum. Very good, beta. At floor of this fissure, beta, basically we have a mass of white matter. बिल्कुल इस सेरिब्रल हेमिस्फेयर्स की जो नीचे होता है ना, देखो अपर में तो क्या है, ये फिशर है, ये ओपनिंग है, और नीचे आते आते इस फ्लोर पर एक मास ऑफ व्हाइट मैटर देखने को मिलता है जिसको हम लोग कॉर्पस कैलोसम बोलते हैं, कॉर्पस कोलासम। और बेटा याद रखना इस कॉर्पस कोलासम का काम क्या है, व्हाट इज द फंक्शन ऑफ दिस कॉर्पस कोलासम। I have recently joined you and you are the amazing teacher. Thank you Angel Nagpur, very thank you so much. बेटा ये जो फिशर है, ऊपर तो फिशर है, ऊपर तो ओपनिंग दिख रही है, जैसे जैसे नीचे आओगे तो नीचे व्हाइट मैटर का एक सब्सटेंस देखने को मिलता है जिसको कॉर्पस कोलासम बोलते हैं। वी विल डिस्कस दिस इन डिटेल, बट रिमेंबर व्हाट इज द फंक्शन ऑफ दिस कॉर्पस कोलासम ओवर हियर। इट unites the two cerebral hemispheres together. It unites the two cerebral hemispheres together. Hemispheres together. Initially बेटा ऊपर की तरफ जब देखोगे बीच में, तो you will have an opening in the middle whenever you like from like the superior part, right in the middle. But as soon as it goes down on the floor of this part guys, on the floor of the cerebral hemisphere, a mass of white matter will be there, and that is something called as corpus callosum, which will unite this yes, cerebral hemispheres together. Yes, I will be covering the upper limb also, no need to worry, 100, right? I have already done the abdomen lectures and like they are on YouTube. The embryology is done, the general anatomy is done, and I'm just now doing the cerebrum. So I hope this is clear to everyone. Just give me a thumbs up in the chat box, guys. Just give me in the a thumbs up in the chat box, guys. Yes. I'm like waiting for your thumbs up, guys. Please give me a thumbs up in the chat box like you have done this particular slide with me. Yes. Sure. Now guys, coming on to the next part, that is the cerebral hemispheres. I will be talking about these hemispheres in detail. Okay, the right and the left cerebral hemisphere in detail, guys. Right, so yes. Now, hemisphere you guys already know, these are like, देखो एक कॉस्को की बॉल होती है ना, like अगर उसको वो बिल्कुल एक स्फीयर की तरह होती है, it is just like the form of a sphere. अगर मैं उसको आधा काट दूं, so it will be just like the hemisphere. It is just like hemi means आधा, hemisphere. So we have the right hemisphere and the left hemisphere. इस तरीके से लगा दिया है. So that is something which we have to discuss right now. Akhilesh, okay, what about rest guys? I hope you all are alive. You all are attending it live. Yes. Sure. Sure. Let us now start with the cerebral hemispheres. Now. Okay. Yeah. Cerebral hemispheres. Tulasi, very good, 100. Okay, perfect guys. Yes, now we are going to discuss about the cerebral hemispheres. Now, remember guys that what is the site guys? Let us just try to write some points about this, and then we will be covering it from the yes, from the notes as well. So no need to worry as of yes. Any doubts guys? I'm like watching your comment section also. If you have any questions, you can just type in the chat box as well. right? So yes. Now guys, let us first discuss what is the site over here. What is the site over here? Now remember guys that they occupy guys, you already know we have three cranial fossa, the anterior cranial fossa, the middle cranial fossa, and they occupy only the upper part of the posterior cranial fossa. Anterior आगे वाला, बीच वाला middle, and पीछे वाला posterior, और posterior पूरा नहीं, only the upper part of the posterior cranial fossa. I will be discussing the sulcus and gyrus. Please, no need to worry about this. So remember, they occupy the anterior. Yes, they occupy the anterior cranial fossa. Okay, then they occupy the middle cranial fossa. We have the cranial bones, right? So anterior cranial fossa, which is composed of the cranial bones only, the middle cranial fossa. Then we have only the upper part of posterior cranial fossa. Posterior cranial fossa. Now guys. Now I have to tell you about the relations over here, guys. What are the relations? Now let us just try to understand this through a picture over here. Now guys, you already know the two cerebral hemispheres. Yes, the two cerebral hemispheres, they are basically having one fissure in between, and that is the median. Median बिल्कुल body के midline में, median longitudinal है, right? Fissure है. So let us just try to solve this. Yes, we have this two cerebral hemispheres, right? We have this two cerebral hemispheres. Now guys, remember they are separated from each other, okay, by a sickle shaped fold of dura over here. We have a sickle shaped fold of dura. Sickle, सेलेनीमिया सुना है ना, बिल्कुल वैसा sickle shape. You already know about the three matters, the three meninges, guys, right? The dura matter, the arachnoid matter, and the pia matter, guys. That is something I shouldn't explain to you. आप लोग को पता है जो the brain is basically covered by the spinal cord also. They are covered by the three layers, guys: the dura matter, the arachnoid matter, and the pia matter. So basically, they are separated from each other by a sickle-shaped fold of dura, and that is something called as the falx cerebri. It is called as the falx cerebri over here, right? Yes, not this beta, it is not exactly this. Yes, I will be teaching you this also. Yes. The falx cerebri, obviously, yes. Now falx cerebri, basically it is occupying, okay, it occupies the median longitudinal fissure. Medial longitudinal fissure. ऑब्वियसली ये जो ओपनिंग है, फिशर का मतलब क्या होता है? ओपनिंग, लॉन्गिट्यूडनल ओपनिंग है, और इसके अंदर ड्यूरा मैटर का एक फोल्ड देखने को मिलता है, ठीक है, एक सिकल शेप्ड फोल्ड ऑफ ड्यूरा मैटर. कैन जस्ट राइट डाउन, इट इज सिकल शेप्ड fold of dura matter, and that is something you already know. That is like filled in this space, and that is the medial longitudinal fissure. That is the medial longitudinal fissure, guys, right? Now guys, these two okay, the two cerebral hemispheres. Now guys, over here, if I just wanted to show one more thing over here, that yes, let us suppose that this is the cerebral hemispheres, right? I'm taking a sagittal section just to show this, guys. And you already know we have the midbrain, we have the pons, we have the medulla oblongata, and yes, behind we have this cerebellum. Behind we have the cerebellum. आगे क्या है? पॉन्स है, मेडुला ऑब्लोंगाटा है, नीचे स्पाइनल कॉर्ड और ये मिड ब्रेन, और ऊपर क्या है? ये सेरिब्रल हेमिस्फीयर्स है. Now these cerebral hemispheres, right, the two cerebral hemispheres, they are separated from the cerebellum, okay, with the help of another horizontal fold, guys, with the help of another horizontal fold of dura, and that is called as tentorium, as it is like correctly said by this 100. Yeah, it is tentorium cerebelli. Tentorium cerebelli. So that is the two important relations that you have to like remember. Now tentorium cerebelli, it is nothing but the horizontal fold of dura mater. It is the horizontal fold of dura mater, right? It is the horizontal fold of dura mater, right? So yes, so these are the two relations, guys, that you have to remember as of now. Yes, the tentorium cerebelli and the falx cerebelli. The tentorium cerebelli and the falx cerebelli. Is it clear, everyone? Just give me a thumbs up in the chat box, guys, if this part is clear. Hmm. Yes, 100. Okay. What about rest, guys? Are you all alive? चलो फटाफट से बता दो. Yes, Dr. Akhilesh, very good. Now, now we are going to discuss the surfaces of the cerebral hemispheres. Now we are going to discuss the surfaces of the cerebral hemisphere. Now we are discussing cerebral hemispheres only, right? And now we are going to discuss the surfaces of cerebral hemisphere. Please try to draw the diagram along with me. The surfaces of the cerebral hemispheres, right? Now, guys, it has three surfaces. How many surfaces? It has three surfaces, guys. It has three surfaces. And let us just try to draw and see all the three surfaces over here. Yes, we have the three surfaces, and let us just try to see all the three surfaces. The first surface, guys, over here, that is the superolateral surface. Okay, it is also called as the lateral surface, but more it is the superolateral surface. ठीक है? Superior मतलब ऊपर वाला और lateral side वाला surface. Superior and lateral. So we have the superolateral surface. Now let us just try to draw this, guys. Now I'm drawing one hemisphere, guys, over here, and just remember the superolateral surface exactly looks like this, guys. Exactly looks like this, right? Now coming from anterior to, yes, anterior to posterior, anterior to posterior. Now guys, anteriorly, guys, we have which bone? The frontal. So anteriorly we have a pole over here, and that is called as the frontal pole. That is called as the frontal pole. आगे frontal होता है, right? Yes. आगे frontal होता है. Then sides में क्या होता है? We already know. We have the temporal bone, right? So we have this temporal pole. The temporal pole. Yes, Cozy Kitchen. I will be like teaching everything. So no need to worry. Absolutely no need to worry. We have the temporal pole. और पीछे की तरफ occipital pole. Occipital bone होती है पीछे, आगे frontal और side में temporal. So we can see like three poles in one section: the frontal, the temporal, and पीछे occipital. So that is the superolateral surface. Emerald space. Yes, good evening, beta. So that is the occipital pole, guys. That is the occipital pole. So now the superolateral surface, guys, if you just talk about the superolateral surface, it is convex, right? It is more of like convex part. It is directed upwards, okay? And it is basically applied to the inner aspect of the vault of the skull, okay? Inner aspect of the vault of the skull. So that is regarding this supero ऊपर और lateral, superolateral surface. Frontal pole हो गया, temporal और पीछे वाला occipital pole हो गया, right? So this is how it looks like. So whenever I will be teaching you the superolateral surface in detail, the sulcus and the gyri, you should remember of this particular image. Okay, you should remember like this particular image. Now guys, coming on to the next surface, that is the medial surface, guys. That is the medial surface. Now the medial surface, it is somewhat flattened. The medial surface, it is somewhat flattened, guys. Now guys, okay, we have two cerebral hemispheres, right? Let us assume we have the two cerebral hemispheres. Now this is the midline of the body, right? So one cerebral hemisphere का जो medial surface होगा वो ये होगा, और एक cerebral hemisphere का medial surface ये होगा, right? Now to watch this medial surface, guys, I have to take a sagittal section. Sagittal section लूंगा और एक part उड़ा दूंगा. Now I will try to look at this. Okay, so how this medial surface will look like? How this medial surface will look like? So no, so basically both the medial surfaces are separated. ओके, ये एक सेरिब्रल हेमिस्फीयर है, ये दूसरा सेरिब्रल हेमिस्फीयर है। एक सेरिब्रल हेमिस्फीयर का ये मीडियल सरफेस है और एक सेरिब्रल हेमिस्फीयर का ये मीडियल सरफेस है, राइट। सो बेसिकली दे आर सेपरेटेड बाय विच फिशर गाइस, एक बीच में फिशर होता है, दैट इज कॉल्ड एज द मीडियन लॉन्गिट्यूडनल फिशर, जो हम लोग पढ़ चुके हैं, जिसमें क्या मिलता है, फाक्स सेरिब्राई देखने को मिलता है। सो दैट इज या so that is like, so how the medial surface looks like. So guys, remember over here we will have this, yes, this corpus callosum. Just mention the name guys, we have this corpus callosum over here, right? And yes, this is the corpus callosum. One important landmark that you have to remember over here, that is the corpus callosum guys, right? So it is like when you see this, when you take a sagittal section, remove one hemisphere, just look from the side, you will just get this, the medial part, the medial surface, you will get like this, right? So I hope this is clear. I hope this is clear. And guys, the third one, that is the important one that you should remember, it is the inferior surface. That is the inferior surface, guys. And remember, guys, the inferior surface. Okay. Now, this is the cerebral hemisphere. We are discussed with the superior-lateral surface. We are discussed with the medial surface. Now we are coming on to the inferior surface, right? So now, in the inferior surface, guys, in the inferior surface, what you will actually see, guys. Suppose no, remember that it is basically beta irregular. It is an irregular surface, and it is divided by. Okay, let me just draw for you the inferior surface, like, yeah, in shortly. So remember guys, it is like divided by the stem of the lateral sulcus. Yes, let me just yes, it is divided by the stem of the lateral sulcus, and yes, so it basically looks like this guys, right? So this basically, this is the stem of the lateral sulcus, right? Anteriorly we can just draw the optic chiasma and this all things, right? So yeah, this is the stem of lateral sulcus. Stem of the lateral sulcus. I will be coming to the sulcus and gyri, no need to worry. This is the stem of the lateral sulcus into two parts, right? Into two parts, guys. The anterior part, okay? The anterior part, yes, over here, remember the anterior part, right? So the anterior part, it is basically called as the orbital surface. Orbital surface. And the posterior part, guys, and this large posterior part, yes, the posterior part, it is called as the tentorial surface. Tentorial surface. Again guys, it makes sense. Again guys, it makes sense. The tentorial surface. Obviously बात है, अगर तुम पीछे की तरफ देखो, अगर ये anterior side है and this is the posterior side, दो cerebral hemisphere का जो नीचे वाला part है, it is basically containing this fold of dura matter called as tentorium cerebelli. तो ये नीचे वाला जो posterior part है, इसको क्या नाम देंगे? टेंटोरियम सरफेस ही बोलेंगे। और आगे वाले को क्या नाम देते हैं? ऑर्बिटल, क्योंकि आगे आई का सॉकेट वगैरह दिखाई देता है। ओके, लाइंग ऑन द रूफ ऑफ द ऑर्बिट, इसलिए उसको हम लोग आगे वाले को, ऑब्वियसली आगे वाले को हम लोग क्या बोलते हैं? ऑर्बिटल सरफेस, और पीछे वाले को टेंटोरियल सरफेस, पीछे वाले को टेंटोरियल सरफेस। सो बेसिकली दे बोथ आर डिवाइडेड ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ दिस लेटरल सर्कस गाइस, right? They both are divided on the basis of this lateral sulcus, right? So I hope this is clear guys. I hope this is clear guys. The anterior part it is called as the posterior orbital surface, and the posterior it is called as the tentorial surface, right? चलो इतना क्लियर हो गया? Just give me a thumbs up in the chat box guys if this is clear to everyone. If this is clear to everyone, just give me a thumbs up in the chat box guys. फटाफट से, I'm waiting. I'm waiting guys. Yes. चलो फटाफट से एक थम्स अप दे दो चैट बॉक्स में जल्दी से। हाँ, now guys, coming on to, we have discussed the surfaces, coming on to the poles of the cerebral hemispheres, right? Next is the poles of the cerebral hemisphere. Dr. Akhilesh, very good, very good. poles of the cerebral hemispheres. Now ये तो अभी हमने डिस्कस भी कर लिया है, जो भी हमने लेटरल सरफेस बनाया था, and it is like more, yeah, clear over here. Now anterior से posterior, we have like 3 poles guys that you have to remember. Yes, we have the frontal pole. Now this frontal pole, it is basically at the end of the frontal lobe. So we have the frontal pole. Yes, we have the temporal pole. आगे frontal हो गया, साइड में temporal, और पीछे वाला क्या हो जाएगा, occipital. We have the temporal pole. Yes, Angel, I will be teaching the whole anatomy. Obviously, yesterday I wasn't well. That's why I skipped the class, but I will be taking sessions daily. Right? Temporal pole, and this one, it is called as the occipital pole. That is called as the occipital. पीछे occipital bone होती है. Yes, that is called as the occipital pole over here. Yes, frontal, temporal, and occipital. Yes, Dr. Akhilesh, very good. Very good, guys. So we have 3 poles. Yes, at the anterior end of the frontal lobe, we have frontal pole. Okay, at the anterior end of frontal lobe, we have frontal pole. Similarly, at the anterior end of temporal lobe, we have temporal pole, and at the posterior end of occipital lobe, we have occipital pole. Yes, good evening, Osama. Good evening. Good evening. Welcome to the session. Now, guys, there are 3 borders that I have to discuss over here, and just try to write down the names of these 3 borders. We have 3 poles of the cerebral hemispheres. We have 3 borders of cerebral hemispheres. And just try to write down the, देखो बेटा, what is the difference between surface and border? Surface में क्या होता है, एरिया ज्यादा होता है. Border is just like a line. ठीक है, border is just like a line. Surface में एरिया ज्यादा होता है ना, एरिया का ही फर्क होता है. Surface has maximum area, border has minimum area, just like a line, guys, right? Like not like a line, just like thicker than little bit line. ठीक है, अगर ये लाइन है, लाइन को और थोड़ा थिक कर दोगे तो क्या बन जाएगा, बॉर्डर. ठीक है, बॉर्डर को और थिक कर दोगे तो क्या बन जाएगा, क्रेस्ट. So we are talking about the 3 borders of the cerebral hemisphere, 3 borders of the cerebral hemispheres, guys. Now over here, remember guys, we have, yes, we have the superior border, or commonly called as the superomedial border. Superomedial border. Now guys, you already know it is an arched border. ये एक arched border है, ठीक है, extending from the frontal pole to the occipital pole. ठीक है, ऐसा border है बेटा, ध्यान से देखो यहाँ पे. It is extending from the frontal pole to the occipital pole. तो ये superior border है, या फिर इसको हम लोग medial border भी बोलते हैं, superomedial border combinedly बोलते हैं, क्योंकि आगे भी है, आगे से पीछे जा रहा है, ऑब्वियसली ऊपर से जा रहा है, सुपीरियर हो गया और बिल्कुल मिड लाइन में, तो इट इज सुपीरोमीडियल बॉर्डर. इट इज सुपीरोमीडियल बॉर्डर. यस 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 यस, जैसे ह्यूमरस में होता है ना, एंटीरियर बॉर्डर और मीडियल बॉर्डर के बीच में एंटीरोमीडियल सरफेस, वैसे ही ओसामा. ठीक है, तो that is about this. Now coming on to the next border that you have to mention, you have to know, that is the inferolateral border. Inferolateral border, or commonly called as the inferior border. And guys, you already know it extends from the temporal pole to the occipital pole. It extends from the temporal pole to the occipital pole. So this is the inferior. It is lying down. It is inferior, guys, right? So that is the inferolateral pole, right? The third one, guys. The third one, that is you have to remember over here, that is the superciliary border. Superciliary border. How long do you take class, Jimit? I didn't understand. How long will I take class, or what's your question? Superciliary border, right? Now remember guys, it is a curved border. Basically it is separating the lateral surface from the orbital part of the inferior surface. You already know We have the lateral surface, right? Lateral surface and the orbital part of the inferior surface. So basically over here, yeah. So just remember, guys, right? So that is about the surfaces, poles, and borders of the cerebral hemispheres, right? So we have discussed, we have discussed about the relations of the cerebrum. We have discussed about the site, right? We have discussed about the surface, poles, and borders. Just give me a thumbs up, guys. No, it will be maybe 2 hour classes, beta daily, right? So just give me a thumbs up, guys, in the chat box if this is clear to each one of you. Just give me a thumbs up in the chat box if this is clear to each one of you. Then, according to 100, I will be starting with the yeah, the other parts also. Firstly, I will be talking about the lobes of the each hemisphere now. Yes, Osama, very good. Kailash Rajkumar, very good, very good. What about rest, guys? Azan, very good, very good. Hmm. कैलाश डॉक्टर अखिलेश ओके तो ये तो इंफीरियर लेटरल हो गया ना इंफीरियर लेटरल हो गया ऊपर वाला क्या हो जाएगा सुपीरोमीडियल हो गया right now guys let us now discuss the very important part over here the lobes of the each hemisphere I'm discussing guys from very basics right I'm discussing each and everything border surface poles relations lobes then I will be starting with the sulcus and gyri majority of the apps guys that you are using they will be starting directly with the gyri and sulcus in one diagram but I'm teaching you like baby okay little things but we will definitely like covering it yeah so yes let us start with the lobes of each hemisphere or I can simply say the lobes of each cerebral hemisphere the lobes of the each cerebral hemisphere yes. Thank you, Osama, for your comment. Like, yes, lobes of the each cerebral hemisphere, guys. The lobes of the each cerebral hemisphere. Hmm. Now, guys, each cerebral hemisphere it is basically divided by three main sulci. ठीक है अभी हम sulci की बात करेंगे ठीक है yes thank you Jimit Mistry for the feedback yes very easy to understand thank you beta now each cerebral hemisphere it is basically divided by the three main sulcus guys right it is divided by the three main okay let me just try to draw the superolateral surface over here then it will be like more easy guys right now guys remember this is a sagittal section like I'm taking it from anterior to posterior guys anterior to posterior okay now guys each cerebral hemisphere it is basically divided by three major sulci अब sulci क्या होता है there are three major sulci I will be discussing all the sulci no need to worry but sulci are called as fissures sulci का मतलब क्या होता है fissure ही होता है fissure is just like an opening fissure मैंने बताया था एक ओपनिंग होती है ठीक है एक बिल्कुल लॉन्गिट्यूडनल गड्ढा देखने को मिलता है इट इज जस्ट लाइक या द लॉन्गिट्यूडनल गड्ढा द फिशर ओके yes it is divided by three main sulci or fissures into four lobes guys right so basically what are the four lobes guys that first you already know the four lobes we have the frontal lobe yes the frontal lobe yes we have the parietal lobe we have temporal lobe and the occipital lobe we have like four lobes yes we have four lobes frontal parietal occipital or temporal right yes Raj biochemistry I don't know right now as of now yeah please just focus over here now guys you already know The three main sulcus, guys, the very first one that you have to remember, that is one sulcus which I'm drawing over here, and that is called as the central sulcus. Okay, this sulcus over here, it is called as the central sulcus. It is called as the central sulcus. Okay, or this central sulcus, it is also called as fissure of Ronaldo. Okay, fissure of Rolando. This is called as the central sulcus, or also called as the fissure of Rolando. Okay, it starts at a point, guys, a little like behind the middle of the superior border. देखो ये पूरा का पूरा superior border है ऊपर वाला, मैंने बताया था, राइट? ये पूरा का पूरा superior border है, राइट? ऊपर का पूरा superior border है, ठीक है? बिल्कुल मिडल में से स्टार्ट होता है, ठीक है? ओके, and it will run obliquely downward, आगे की तरफ आएगा, ओके, and forward, and it will go towards the lateral surface. यहाँ पे lateral surface होता है, बिल्कुल देखो बीच में से स्टार्ट हुआ है सुपीरियर बॉर्डर से और बिल्कुल आ गया है कहाँ, लेटरल सरफेस पे, ठीक है? लेटरल सरफेस पे आ गया है, ठीक है? नाउ इट एंड्स एट अ पॉइंट, ओके, इट एंड्स एट अ पॉइंट बिलो, जस्ट अबव वी हैव दिस पर्टिकुलर फिशर, गाइस, एंड दैट इज कॉल्ड एज द लेटरल फिशर. ये वाला जो फिशर आपको देखने को मिल रहा है, ठीक है? ओके, लेट मी जस्ट ट्राई टू मार्क दिस एज वेल. We have this fissure also, and this is something called as the lateral fissure. This is called as the lateral fissure, right? And it is also called as the, okay, fissure of Sylvius. It is also called as the fissure of Sylvius. It is also called as the fissure of Sylvius, guys. It is also called as fissure of Sylvius. Okay, so let us first talk about the central sulcus. Okay, let us first talk about the central sulcus, guys. You already know we have the central sulcus. Okay, we have the lateral of, oh sorry, please someone. Okay, now we have this lateral fissure, or it is also called as the fissure of Sylvius. Fissure of Sylvius. Okay, and one sulcus that you will like found like behind, I will be telling you the location also, guys. Yes, we have one more sulcus over here, guys. Yes, and that is called as the Parieto-Occipital sulcus. Okay, it is the, yes, Parieto-Occipital sulcus. The three main sulcus, just try to remember this: Parieto-Occipital sulcus. Now let us discuss each of the sulcus in details. Let us now discuss each of the sulcus in detail. Now I have already told you about the central sulcus, guys. It is basically occurring from the middle of the superior border. ऊपर वाला superior border है और बिल्कुल इसके mid point से start होता है और ये बिल्कुल नीचे की तरफ आ रहा है obliquely downward, and it is actually ending at the lateral fissure. Okay, lateral fissure का तीन parts होते हैं lateral fissure के. I will be coming to that. Right now, it separates, guys. What does it do? It separates the frontal lobe. इसके आगे वाला जो हिस्सा होगा, that will be called as the frontal lobe. Frontal lobe, and guys, पीछे वाला जो हिस्सा होगा, that will be called as the parietal lobe. Parietal lobe. We have the frontal lobe and we have the parietal lobe, and that is basically like no differentiated, or we can just, these two lobes are basically differentiated on the basis of the central sulcus. Okay, that is also called as fissure of Rolando. Right now, guys, the lateral surface, the lateral fissure or the fissure of Sylvius, it starts on the inferior surface of the hemisphere. Right, ये बिल्कुल inferior surface पर start होता है, guys. बिल्कुल नीचे inferior surface पे start होगा, right? Okay, lateral to the anterior perforated substance. I'm not discussing about the anterior perforated because I discussed yesterday only. Now, अब इसका जो stem है, guys, its stem extends laterally, okay, between the temporal and frontal lobes, right? It extends laterally between the temporal lobe and the frontal lobe. So this lobe will be the temporal lobe. This will be the temporal lobe, guys. Now, this fissure, okay, the lateral, the frontal lobes, okay, basically, okay, it has three ramus, guys. It has three ramus. Now, remember, guys, there is one ramus. There is one ramus, guys. Remember, it is going upwards. One ramus which is going upwards, and like one ramus which is like coming forward. One ramus which is coming. देखो एंटीरियर ये वाला है, तो एक आगे की तरफ आ रहा है, एक आगे की तरफ आ रहा है, तो एंटीरियर रैमस हो गया, एंटीरियर एक प्रोजेक्शन हो गया। एक ऊपर की तरफ जा रहा है तो असेंडिंग रैमस हो गया, असेंडिंग रैमस हो गया। और एक इसी लेटरल फिशर का एक हिस्सा पीछे की तरफ जा रहा है, तो ये पोस्टीरियर रैमस हो गया। ये क्या हो जाएगा? पोस्टीरियर रैमस। तो इसी लेटरल फिशर के तीन प्रोजेक्शंस है बेटा। एक आगे की तरफ तो आ गया एंटीरियर रैमस, राइट, ये वाला। एक ऊपर की तरफ जा रहा है तो असेंडिंग रैमस, और एक पीछे की तरफ जा रहा है, दैट इज द लेटरल रैमस, द सॉरी पोस्टीरियर रैमस ऑफ लेटरल फिशर। So I hope the lateral fissure is clear to everyone. Just give me a thumbs up, guys. Yes, just give me a thumbs up, guys, if it is clear. The lateral fissure or the fissure of the sylvius. The lateral fissure or the fissure of the sylvius. चलो फटाफट से बता दो if this is clear to everyone. Now इसके तीन parts आप लोग को पता होने चाहिए, guys. It is very much important. The anterior ramus, right? The anterior ramus जो आगे जा रहा है, एक ऊपर जा रहा है असेंडिंग रैमस, असेंडिंग रैमस, और एक पीछे जा रहा है तो पोस्टीरियर रैमस बोल सकते हैं, पोस्टीरियर रैमस, राइट। सो दिस इज स्टार्टिंग फ्रॉम, यस आई एम वेटिंग फॉर योर थम्स अप। इट इज स्टार्टिंग फ्रॉम द इंफीरियर सरफेस ऑफ द हेमिस्फीयर and then it is going up like this, okay? Its stem extends between the temporal and the frontal lobes, and it is giving three projection: anterior, ऊपर ascending, और पीछे posterior projection हो गया, right? So that is something you have to remember. Apart from that, guys, there is one more important thing that you have to notice over here, and that is regarding that this particular fissure will lodge an artery over here. यहीं पर एक artery भी supply करती है. And remember, guys, this is very important from the clinical point of view, that this artery, guys, it is called as the middle cerebral artery. Middle cerebral artery. I will be teaching you, अगर ये artery में blockage हो जाता है तो कौन कौन से parts चले जाएंगे, right? So ये जो lateral sulcus है, it lodges, remember, very important, put $sign, it lodges the middle cerebral artery, okay, and its branches, middle cerebral artery and its branches. And apart from that, that is the first thing. And the second thing does it lodges, it is the deep middle cerebral vein, deep middle cerebral vein. These are the two things, guys, that the sulcus इस ओपनिंग में, इस गड्ढे में तुम्हें दो चीजें दिखाई देंगी. यस, दिस इज द डीप, यस, मिडल सेरिब्रल वेन, deep middle cerebral vein. So that is something you have to remember. Apart from that, guys, you have one more sulcus, that is the parieto-occipital sulcus, right? So yes, it is basically dividing this parietal lobe into one small lobe over here, and that is called as the occipital lobe. Occipital lobe, राइट। रैमस का मतलब बेटा आर्म होता है, आर्म्स। जैसे आप लोग का ये आर्म है ना, शोल्डर जॉइंट से लेके एल्बो जॉइंट तक ये आर्म बोलते हो। आर्म क्या होता है? बेसिकली आपकी बॉडी में से ये प्रोजेक्ट कर रहा है बाहर की तरफ। इसी तरीके से किसी भी बोन की आर्म्स अगर हम लोग बोलते हैं रैमस है, ठीक है, तो वो बेसिकली प्रोजेक्शन होती है बोन की, स्लाइटली थिकर, राइट। तो यहाँ पे भी बेसिकली जो रैमस है, इट इज जस्ट लाइक द आर्म्स गाइस व्हिच आर लाइक स्प्रेडिंग अक्रॉस, राइट। ठीक है उसामा, is it clear beta? Just give me a thumbs up in the chat box if the lobes of the cerebral hemisphere are clear. The frontal, parietal, temporal and occipital, right? Frontal and parietal basically divided by the central sulcus or the fissure of Rolando. Yes, Osama, very good. Raj Patel, very good. Frontal and temporal divided by the lateral fissure or the fissure of the sylvius, राइट फिशर मतलब वही sulcus ही हो क्या. सो बेसिकली इट हैज 3 आर्म्स, एंटीरियर आगे ऊपर असेंडिंग और पीछे पोस्टीरियर वाली, और पीछे की तरफ एक पेराइटो ऑसिपिटल sulcus देखने को मिलता है. दैट इज समथिंग लाइक सेपरेटिंग द पेराइटल फ्रॉम द ऑसिपिटल लोब. तो इतना बेसिकली हम लोग को क्लियर हो गया. ठीक है, दैट इज समथिंग वेरी मच क्लियर टू ईच वन ऑफ यू, वेरी मच क्लियर टू ईच वन ऑफ यू गाइस, राइट. So yes, now let us just try to discuss from where does this lateral sulcus extends, right? Okay, now बेटा ये स्टार्ट कहां से होता है, इंफीरियर सरफेस से. ठीक है, इंफीरियर सरफेस ऑफ द हेमिस्फेयर. ओके, एंड इट इज लेटरल टू द एंटीरियर परफोरेटेड सब्सटेंस. तो वो अभी एंटीरियर परफोरेटेड वाला अगर पिछला वीडियो देखा है तो इट विल बी लाइक क्लियर टू यू, राइट. नाउ इसकी जो स्टेम है बेटा, ये देखो नीचे से स्टार्ट होकर इसकी जो पूरी स्टेम है, ठीक है, वो पीछे की तरफ जाती है. एंड इट मींस इट इज गिविंग ऑफ 3 ब्रांचेस. एक आगे की तरफ जाती है, एक ऊपर और एक पीछे की तरफ जाती है गाइस. That is how it is like projecting from the inferior surface coming up, right? It is coming extends laterally between the temporal and the frontal lobe, right? So yes, that is it is dividing into these 3 ramas guys, right? So that is you have to remember. Okay, now इतना क्लियर है सब लोगों को? फटाफट से एक थम्स अप दे दो जल्दी से. अब फिर सल्कस और गायरी स्टार्ट करते हैं. Thank you, Beta Raj. Thank you so much. You've attended my classes. Like it's an honor to get appreciation from the students, right? So now, very good. बहुत बढ़िया. Now let us just try to discuss now the sulci and gyri of the cerebral hemisphere. 3 तो मैंने अभी बता दी है, अभी 3 बार बार नहीं बताऊंगा. सल्काई 3 सल्काई, सेंट्रल, लेटरल फिशर और पेराइटो ऑसिपिटल सल्काई और गायरी. ठीक है, 3 तो मैंने बता दी है. ठीक है, नाउ लेट अस डिस्कस. अब बहुत सारी पढ़नी है तो लेट अस जस्ट ट्राई टू डिस्कस. यस, द सल्काई एंड गायरी of cerebral hemispheres, of cerebral hemispheres, sulci and gyri of the cerebral hemispheres. Now we are going to discuss the sulci and gyri of the cerebral hemispheres, right? So now guys, you already know the surface. Okay, let us first write down some important points. The surface of the hemispheres, the surface of the hemispheres, right? Usmangul from Pakistan, thank you beta. Yes, the surface of the hemispheres, it is formed of, ये जो ऊपर वाली surface होती है cerebral hemispheres की, it is formed of gray matter. It is formed of the gray matter, right? And it is called as the cerebral cortex. It is called as the cerebral cortex, right? बाहर वाला हमेशा कॉर्टेक्स ही होता है, तो अब हम बाहर वाले की लेयर की बात करें, इट इज फॉर्म्ड ऑफ ग्रे मैटर और बाहर वाला लेयर है तो कॉर्टेक्स ही होगा. ठीक है, नाउ ईच surface guys remember is divided by sulci. ओके, sulci का मतलब होता है ग्रूव्स. ठीक है, sulci का मतलब क्या होता है, ग्रूव्स, राइट. एंड ग्रूव का मतलब क्या होता है बेटा, डिप्रेशन. डिप्रेशन इन द डिप्रेशन, कहीं पे भी अगर हमें डिप्रेशन देखने को मिलता है उसको ग्रूव बोलते हैं, गड्ढा. सल्काई को ग्रूव बोलते हैं, गड्ढा बोलते हैं. ओके, डिवाइडेड बाय सल्काई, ओके, ग्रूव्स इनटू गायरी. गायरी दैट इज द कॉन्वोल्यूशंस. ओके, इसको हम कॉन्वोल्यूशंस बोलते हैं, राइट. इट इज कॉल्ड एज कॉन्वोल्यूशंस. नाउ Now, how actually it is basically it looks like, guys, right? So basically, guys, if you look at the sulcus, guys, right? If you just try to see, we have like these elevations, guys. These elevations are basically the gyri, right? These are basically the gyri. And below we have this depression. दिख रहा है सब लोगों को कोई गड्ढा दिख रहा है? That is called as the sulci. Sulci. This is called as the sulci. कन्वोल्यूशंस बेटा, गायरी देखो, ये एलिवेटेड प्रोजेक्शन दिख रहा है ना, ये ऊपर की तरफ उठा हुआ दिख रहा है, माउंटेन जैसा जो दिख रहा है, इसको कन्वोल्यूशन बोलते हैं। EREN, इसको कन्वोल्यूशन बोलते हैं। और ये जो डेप्थ आप लोग को दिख रही है, दैट इज कॉल्ड एज द यस सल्कस। गड्ढा हो गया ना बीच में, दो माउंटेन के बीच में गड्ढा हो गया, राइट? That is fine, guys. That is fine, guys. Now let us take each lobe separately and let us just try to find out the sulci and gyri in each lobe, guys. Right? Now let us just try to find out the sulci and gyri in each lobe, guys. Right? Now, as you all know, guys, चलो सबसे पहले हम फ्रंटल लोब ले लेते हैं, ठीक है? सबसे पहला हम लोग डिस्कस करेंगे, लेट्स जस्ट ट्राई टू पुट द हेडिंग ओवर हियर। यस, sulci and gyri of the lateral surface or I can simply say the superolateral surface of the superolateral surface। मैं आऊंगा, इसमें बहुत सारे एरियाज है, गाइस। यू हैव टू लाइक study about this Brodmann's classification also, right? So before starting with this Brodmann's classification, the important sulci and gyri should be clear. And I hope, guys, like you are with me. Just give me a thumbs up in the chat box. You are alive, writing the notes along with me, guys. Yes? So please. Now. Yes, Raj Patel, very good. Very good. Yes, ERN, perfect बेटा। नाउ अगर मैं सुपीरोलेटरल सरफेस बनाता हूं, अभी मैंने तुम लोग को बताया था कि सुपीरोलेटरल सरफेस, राइट? तो आई विल बी डिस्कसिंग द सुपीरोलेटरल सरफेस राइट नाउ। और मैंने सुपीरोलेटरल सरफेस अभी बना के दिखाया था तुम लोगों को, ठीक है? ये सुपीरोलेटरल सरफेस है, तो इसी सरफेस को अब हम दोबारा से रीड्रॉ करते हैं और देखते हैं क्या क्या आएगा, ठीक है? लेट अस जस्ट ट्राई टू रीड्रॉ दिस एंड लेट अस जस्ट ट्राई टू सी व्हाट ऑल थिंग्स विल बी देयर ओवर हियर। Now, first I will be talking about the frontal lobe. Okay, let me draw the diagram over here, and then on the sides we will be writing it. Please try to draw a bigger diagram because there will be a lot of labelings, guys, and then you will be saying that sir is okay. Yes. Now that is from anterior to posterior, right? From anterior to posterior, from anterior to posterior. Now guys, just try to see in the frontal lobe, okay, let us just try to mark the important sulcus, guys, that we have already drawn. We have this sulcus in between, and that is called as, okay, tell me the name of the sulcus which I have drawn right now. Yes, the name of the sulcus. Yes, the name of the sulcus. And just in front of this, we have another sulcus over here. जो इससे पहले आ रहा है. Yes, it is the central sulcus. Very good, EREN, very good. Yes, very good. Yes, Osama, very good. It is the central sulcus. Now you guys already know the main sulcus over here. Now just try to remember, it is the central sulcus. Okay, I am just okay. Yes, I am just discussing the frontal lobe over here. So we have the central sulcus over here. The central sulcus. And in front of this sulcus, we have another fissure. Another, yes, sulci over here. Yes. दैट इज इन फ्रंट। देखो एंटीरियर यहां से है ना, तो ये आगे की तरफ आ रहा है, तो ये हो जाएगा प्री सेंट्रल सल्कस। ये आगे की तरफ क्या आ जाएगा? प्री सेंट्रल सल्कस। यस, प्री सेंट्रल sulcus. We have the pre-central sulcus, guys, right? We have the pre-central sulcus, right? Now it is nearly parallel to the central sulcus. देख सकते हो बिल्कुल parallel है central sulcus के, and about like one finger in front of it, right? It is usually divided into two parts, upper part or lower part. We have like two parts, but that is like, you don't have to remember this over here. Yes, we have the pre-central sulcus, right? Now yes, now another sulcus, guys, just try to see over here, another sulcus which like begins from the superior part or the upper part of the precentral sulcus. It is called as the superior frontal sulcus. Okay, and it like run forwards and parallel to know the superior border of the hemisphere. So it is like, you have to just show this parallel to the superior border of the hemisphere. So yes, this is, yes, the another sulcus that you can see over here, and that is called as the superior frontal sulcus. Please try to mark this. This is the superior frontal sulcus. Right, it is the superior frontal sulcus, right? And guys, we have another frontal sulcus which basically comes from the lower part of this precentral sulcus, and it also like run parallel to this no, it comes forwards, it comes downwards below the superior frontal sulcus, and it is exactly, guys, you have to remember, it is the inferior frontal sulcus. It is the inferior frontal sulcus, right? It is the inferior frontal sulcus. Now, is it clear, guys? Just give me a thumbs up if the sulcus of the frontal lobe is clear. कि सेंट्रल सल्कस होता है, उसके आगे क्या है? अभी कौन सा लोब है? फ्रंटल लोब ही है ना? अभी कौन सा लोब है? फ्रंटल लोब ही है। यस, फ्रंटल लोब में आपको सबसे पहले प्री सेंट्रल सल्कस दिखता है, जस्ट वन फिंगर अपार्ट फ्रॉम द सेंट्रल सल्कस, और इसी के ऊपर वाले पार्ट से आता है सुपीरियर फ्रंटल सल्कस, और नीचे वाले पार्ट से आता है इंफीरियर फ्रंटल सल्कस, राइट? Now what are the gyri in between, guys? The gyri in between, just you have to remember over here, guys. Yes, EREN Raj Patel, very good, very good. The gyri in between, which you can see over here, guys. Yes, okay, in between the pre-central sulcus and the central sulcus, this area, guys, which I'm highlighting over here, this is called as the pre-central gyrus. Very, very, very important. It is the pre-central gyrus. Yes, this is called as the pre-central gyrus. Pre-central gyrus. Now the pre-central gyrus, basically it lies between the central sulcus and the pre-central sulcus. Now we have the superior. Okay, let me use another. Yeah, we have this. Yes, another. Yes, gyrus over here, and that is between the, yes, the superior border, guys, you can see over here, of the cerebral hemisphere and the superior frontal sulcus. So which gyrus it will be, guys? Yes, Anushri, yes, it is the motor area. Very good, guys, it is the motor area, guys, and you already know it is the motor area. Okay, anyone can tell me which motor area it is? Yes, good evening, Sulei, Rijia, very good. मोटर एरिया 4 है, 6 है, या 312 है? फटाफट से बता दो, ये भी अभी डिस्कस करेंगे। पहले सल्काई और गायरी समझ लेते हैं एक बार। अनुश्री, यस, 321 नहीं, नहीं बेटा, वो पोस्ट सेंट्रल का होता है ना, पोस्ट सेंट्रल का होता है। प्री सेंट्रल का 4 है बेटा। नहीं नहीं नहीं, नहीं बेटा, मोटर वाला है ना बेटा, प्री सेंट्रल गायरस मोटर एरिया होता है, 4 होता है। हाँ, 321 तुम पोस्ट वाला बता रही हो, पीछे वाला बता रही हो। अभी सिर्फ हम आगे वाला सल्काई और गायरे देख रहे हैं, ठीक है? तो ये जो मैंने ब्लू से हाईलाइट किया है, ये जो एरिया है गाइस, स्टैटस बिटवीन द सुपीरियर बॉर्डर एंड इट इज कॉल्ड एज द सुपीरियर फ्रंटल गाइरस। ओके, इसको क्या बोलते हैं? सुपीरियर फ्रंटल गाइरस। ओके, एंड यस, below guys you already know. Yes, Raj Patel, very good. Below, between the superior and the inferior frontal gyrus, this which I'm highlighting over here guys, remember it is the, yes guys, it is the middle, or I will just write it over here, not an issue. It is the middle frontal gyrus. Frontal part पे आ गया ना, frontal gyrus. And below this guys we have the inferior frontal gyrus. Inferior frontal gyrus, right? It is between the inferior frontal sulcus and this posterior ramus guys of this lateral sylvius. तो ये वाला क्या था, हमने बताया था ना अभी इसको. Yes, we have this. Yes, the lateral sulcus guys. Yes, the lateral sulcus. So I think I don't even need to mention over here the lateral sulcus, the major sulcus that you have over here. So I hope this is clear to each and everyone guys. Of the frontal lobe, so A part, that is the frontal lobe, we have discussed. The frontal lobe, आगे वाले lobe में कौन कौन से sulcus और gyri है, it is done guys, right? Just give me a thumbs up if it is clear to each one of you. Just give me a thumbs up if it is clear to each one of you guys. Just give me a thumbs up if it is like clear to each one of you. चलो, चलो राज पटेल, EREN, very good, very good. Now Gangaram, okay, perfect beta. Now we are going to discuss the parietal lobe guys, the parietal lobe. पीछे वाला जो लोब है वो पेराइटल लोब है. So let us just try to remove this labeling over here only, and let us just try to see all the lobes over here. So okay, चलो फ्रंटल लोब हो गया अच्छे से. पेराइटल लोब देखेंगे, बट उससे पहले मैं यहीं पे मार्क कर देता हूँ. यू ऑलरेडी नो दिस इज द प्री सेंट्रल गाइरस. Pre-central gyrus, right? Pre-central gyrus, it is in between. You already know this is which? Yes, yes, this is between the, yeah, the superior frontal sulcus, right? The okay, this is the prefrontal or the pre-central sulcus. और ये वाला क्या है? Central sulcus है. The central sulcus, right? Now guys, just try to look at this. पीछे वाले जो लोब है, पेराइटल मतलब ऊपर वाला लोब हो गया ना, पेराइटल आगे फ्रंटल हो गया. अब ऊपर पेराइटल की अगर मैं बात करूं तो पेराइटल लोब में जो इंपॉर्टेंट वाला है, तो इसी सेंट्रल सल्कस के पीछे गाइस, इसी सेंट्रल सल्कस के पीछे you will have another sulcus guys over here. Yes, you will have another sulcus over here, and this sulcus, it is called as the post central. पीछे वाला हो गया तो बेटा क्या हो जाएगा? पोस्ट central sulcus. So we are discussing the parietal lobe sulcus over here, parietal lobe sulcus and gyri. So in the parietal lobe guys, in the parietal lobe we have the post central sulcus, और ये वाला जो एरिया है बीच में, yes, that will be the post central gyri. बीच वाला सेंट्रल, आगे वाला प्री सेंट्रल, और इसके पीछे वाला क्या हो जाएगा? पोस्ट. यस, वी हैव दिस पोस्ट सेंट्रल गाइरस. पोस्ट सेंट्रल गाइरस, पोस्ट सेंट्रल गाइरस, पोस्ट सेंट्रल गाइरस, राइट? So it is like running parallel to the central sulcus, guys. It is running parallel to the central sulcus, okay? And it's also like upper part and lower part. So like you can just draw it in one. Now, guys, we have another sulcus, guys, that is called as the interparietal sulcus, right? We have the interparietal sulcus, okay? Behind, guys, you already know. Yes, behind we already know we have an occipital sulcus, right? We have an occipital sulcus. Occipital sulcus, right? So interparietal, basically it will be coming from the middle of this post central gyrus, right? And it will be dividing the parietal lobes like into two. So we have, and it is like ending onto this occipital sulcus. So just try to draw like this. Okay. We have this interparietal sulcus. Interparietal sulcus, and remember that it is dividing it into two areas. One area which is like, okay, let me take another color over here. Yes, the one area which is like above this interparietal sulcus, and one area which is like below this interparietal sulcus. So that is, guys, you have to remember we have the superior parietal lobule. Now it is lobule, guys. Superior parietal lobule, and we have inferior parietal lobule. Inferior parietal lobule. Yes, yes. अभी सारे एरियाज पढ़ेंगे. No need to worry, guys. We have the superior parietal lobule and the inferior parietal lobule, right? We have the superior parietal lobule and the, yes, inferior parietal lobule. Yes. See, we have one main gyrus, guys, that is the post-central gyrus. In parietal lobe, we have one main gyrus, that is post-central gyrus, right? Yes, yes, yes. Vandana, just wait for some time. We will be discussing all the motor areas related to this. The sensory areas, the motor areas, everything. Okay. We have like, yes, the two lobules, guys, over here. The two lobules, right? We have superior parietal lobule and inferior parietal lobule. Now, if I ask you the superior parietal lobule and the inferior parietal lobule, it is divided by which sulcus, guys? It is divided by which sulcus, guys? Anyone in the chat box? Now, yes, interparietal sulcus. Very good, very good. Vandana, very good. It is between the interparietal sulcus. It is between the interparietal sulcus. Very good, guys. Perfect, 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 guys. It is between the interparietal sulcus. Now, guys, there are two more which you have to like see over here. There are two more, guys, which you have to like see over here. Okay, I have, yes. I'm just trying to draw it little like this. Now, there are two more, guys. Yes, we have one over here that is called as, like, it is capping up this. Okay, which sulcus is this, guys? You already know this is the lateral sulcus. This is the lateral sulcus, or it is also called as the Sylvian fissure. The Sylvian fissure, right? It is also called as the Sylvian fissure. It has three arms, guys. It has three arms, one going in ascending direction, one which is going up, and this one which I have drawn over here, it is the posterior arm of this lateral. पीछे की तरफ जा रहा है, obviously posterior ये वाला part है, posterior ये वाला part है, आगे वाला anterior है, तो ये पीछे की तरफ जा रहा है, तो it is the posterior ramus of this lateral sulcus, right? So we have a small arched gyrus, guys, now surrounding the upper end of the posterior ramus. ये जो है पोस्टीरियर रैमस है, किसका? लेटरल सर्कस का। पोस्टीरियर रैमस एक आर्म है जो पीछे की तरफ जा रही है, पोस्टीरियर रैमस ऑफ द लेटरल सर्कस, राइट। And it is just a capping over here that you guys have to remember this area. That is very important, guys, and that is something called as the supramarginal gyrus. It is called as the supramarginal gyrus. Now, what is the supramarginal gyrus, guys? You already know it is an arched surface, right? It is an arched gyrus. It is surrounding what? It is surrounding the upper end of what? Posterior ramus of the lateral sulcus, right? It is the most convex part of the lateral surface, most convex part of the lateral surface. That is the superior marginal gyrus. Okay, superior marginal gyrus. Now, in the temporal lobe, guys, in the temporal lobe, till now everything is clear, guys. Till now everything is clear. Just give me a thumbs up in the chat box if everything is clear to you guys. If everything is clear to you guys, just give me a thumbs up in the chat box. Yes, Vandana, very good, very good, very good, very good. Now, guys, इसी लेटरल सरफेस पे अगर हम टेम्पोरल लोब की बात करें, चलो अब हम थर्ड वाला भी देख लेते हैं. दैट इज ओके, आई हैव ओवर हियर आई हैव द स्पेस, दैट इज द टेम्पोरल लोब. टेम्पोरल लोब के भी sulcus और gyri देख लेते हैं. ठीक है, what are actually in the temporal lobe? So we have three, okay. Yeah, you already know we have the three sulcus, guys, the three or majorly the two sulcus, guys, over here. And okay, let me just draw this with, okay, blue. So we have the superior temporal sulcus, right? And we have the middle temporal sulcus. So we have superior temporal sulcus and we have middle temporal sulcus. Middle temporal sulcus. Now, between the posterior ramus and the superior temporal sulcus, this area, guys, this area which I'm highlighting right now, this is the superior temporal gyrus. EREN Raj, very good, very good. This is the superior temporal gyrus. This is the superior temporal gyrus. नीचे वाला क्या हो जाएगा? मिडल टेम्पोरल गाइरस. और नीचे वाला क्या हो जाएगा? इंफीरियर टेम्पोरल गाइरस. सुपीरियर टेम्पोरल गाइरस, मिडल टेम्पोरल गाइरस एंड इंफीरियर टेम्पोरल गाइरस, राइट. नाउ सुपीरियर टेम्पोरल गाइरस के ऊपर भी एक आर्च्ड सरफेस देखने को मिलती है, एक आर्च्ड गायरी देखने को मिलेगा, एंड दैट इज समथिंग कॉल्ड एज द एंगुलर गाइरस, राइट. दैट इज कॉल्ड एज द एंगुलर गाइरस. ये हमें देखने को मिलता है सुपीरियर टेम्पोरल sulcus के जस्ट ऊपर एक आर्चिंग देखने को मिलती है, and that is called as, yes, the angular gyrus. Very important. Angular gyrus, right? It's a small arched gyrus, right, surrounding the upper end of the superior temporal sulcus. Superior temporal sulcus का ऊपर वाला जो end है उसको आर्च कर रहा है, उसको घेर रहा है. आर्च ऑफ आयोटा सुना ना, आर्च ऐसे होता है, आर्च. सो दैट इज समथिंग द एंगुलर गाइरस ओवर हियर. चलो, इतना क्लियर है सब लोगों को? फटाफट से बताओ, जल्दी से एक थम्स अप दे दो कि हाँ, ये हमें टेम्पोरल लोब का भी समझ में आ गया, फ्रंटल समझ में आ गया, पैराइटल भी हमने देख लिया और टेम्पोरल भी हो गया क्लियर, राइट. चलो जल्दी से बता दो. चलो, EREN, वेरी गुड गाइस, वेरी गुड. Okay, we have the occipital sulcus, guys. पीछे की तरफ एक ही याद रखना है, that is the transverse occipital sulcus. Okay, the transverse occipital sulcus that you have to remember, right? So that is something. Okay, EREN, Vandana, Raj Patel, very good, guys. Now let us. That was about the superolateral surface, guys. The sulci and gyri of the superolateral surface. और पहले इसी के मोटर एरियाज पढ़ लेंगे और उसके बाद फिर हम लोग आगे जाएंगे. इसी के पहले मोटर एरियाज पढ़ लेंगे और फिर उसके बाद हम लोग आगे जाएंगे. तो अब तक कोई डाउट है तो मुझे बता दो. Anyone having any doubt up till here right now, just tell me, or otherwise if it is clear तो एक thumbs up और दे दो कि हाँ सर clear है. We can continue. We can continue. इसमें तीन चीजें मुझे और बतानी है. नो, ओके ओके, उसमें तीन चीजें मुझे और बतानी है तो वो अब मैं बता देता हूँ. ठीक है. कंटिन्यू कंटिन्यू. चलो देखो. नेक्स्ट स्लाइड ले लूं. मुझे बस इसमें से ये एक पॉइंट और डिस्कस करना है. तो ये अगर तुम बनाना चाहो तो बना लो गाइस. लाइक आई जस्ट वांटेड टू डिस्कस वन ऑफ द पॉइंट्स ओवर हियर. उस डायग्राम में हॉच पॉच नहीं चाहता हूं मैं. तो लेट अस जस्ट ट्राई टू सी गाइस ओवर हियर. नाउ गाइस, यू ऑलरेडी नो कि we have like three ramus, guys. We have like three ramus of this no sulcus, which you already know. And guys, you already know we have this yeah, the sylvian sulcus, right? The lateral sulcus, right? Lateral sulcus के तीन पार्ट्स हैं बेटा जो आप लोग को पढ़ने हैं. एक सल्कस पीछे की तरफ जा रहा है. ओके गाइस, लेट अस जस्ट ट्राई टू एज्यूम कि ये एंटीरियर पार्ट है और ये एंटीरियर से कहाँ जा रहे हैं हम लोग? पोस्टीरियर की तरफ जा रहे हैं. एंटीरियर से कहाँ जा रहे हैं? पोस्टीरियर की तरफ जा रहे हैं, आगे से पीछे. तो इसके तीन एक्सटेंशन है, तीन लिम्स है गाइस. एक आगे की तरफ एंटीरियर, एक ऊपर की तरफ असेंडिंग और एक पीछे की तरफ पोस्टीरियर. हो गया. पोस्टीरियर वाले को ही हम लोग लाइक सिल्वियन पार्ट बोलते हैं. सो इट्स ओके. तो ये तीनों लेटरल सल्कस के ही पार्ट्स हैं. तो वी हैव लाइक लेटरल सल्कस एंड वी हैव लाइक थ्री ramus guys, right? वी हैव एंटीरियर, एंटीरियर ओके, जो आगे आ रहा है एंटीरियर हो गया, राइट. एक ऊपर वाला असेंडिंग हो गया, राइट. और एक पीछे जा रहा है जो क्या हो जाएगा? पोस्टीरियर हो जाएगा. जो क्या हो जाएगा? पोस्टीरियर हो जाएगा. सो वी हैव एंटीरियर, ascending, and we have posterior part, right? We have posterior part. So one in the upward direction, it is ascending, right? Then we have like anterior, and then we are looking like going backward. That is the longest one. That is the posterior extension of the lateral sulcus. Okay. Now guys, over here you just have to remember guys, we have an area. Now let us just try to highlight this as well. We have an area guys which is in front of this anterior part of the lateral sulcus, this area, right? We have an area in between guys. This is the area. Okay. And like it is between the anterior like anterior ramus of this lateral sulcus and the ascending ramus of the lateral sulcus. This red area is there, and behind this behind this ascending ramus and the posterior, okay, behind this ascending ramus and this posterior part, we have this another area. Like we have three areas that you have to like understand, like three areas that you have to like understand over here, right? So we have the area between the posterior limb ये हो गई, right, and the ascending limb of the lateral sulcus. That is called as pars opercularis. This area, okay, that is called as, yes, please mention, it is called as the pars opercularis. Now the one between the ascending limb and the anterior limb, ये आगे वाली क्या है? एंटीरियर है. आगे वाली क्या है? एंटीरियर लिम्ब है, राइट? Yes, धर्मेंद्र गिरी, I'm trying to cover everything, don't worry. दिस इज द एंटीरियर लिम्ब बोल लो या ramus बोल लो, राइट, एक्सटेंशन बोल लो, कुछ भी है। तो असेंडिंग लिम्ब और एंटीरियर लिम्ब के बीच में ये जो रेड वाला जो एरिया, जो ट्राइंगुलर एरिया है, इसको हम लोग बोलते हैं पार्स ट्राइंगुलरिस, राइट, पार्स ट्राइंगुलरिस। और what's one which I can see this green colored area, जो ये anterior limb और ये नीचे के बीच में है, the superolateral no the orbital surface, नीचे वाली surface कौन सी होती है, orbital surface। आगे की तरफ orbital थी, पीछे की तरफ tentorium surface बताया था। inferior surface तो दो ही थी ना, आगे वाली orbital और पीछे वाली tentorium, जो किससे सेपरेट कर रही थी, cerebellum से cerebrum को, ठीक है। तो नीचे वाली ऑर्बिटल सरफेस और ये एंटीरियर लिम्ब के बीच में जो ग्रीन कलर वाला जो एरिया है, इसको जो देख सकते हो, इसको हम लोग बोलते हैं पार्स ऑर्बिटालिस। इसको क्या बोलेंगे, जस्ट क्योंकि नीचे ऑर्बिटल फ्लोर बना रहा है, इट इज पार्स ऑर्बिटालिस, इट इज पार्स ऑर्बिटालिस, राइट, इट इज पार्स ऑर्बिटालिस गाइस, राइट। So I hope this is clear to everyone. These three parts also are clear to each and everyone. Just give me a thumbs up in the chat box, guys, if this is clear to each and everyone. Right? If this is clear to each and everyone. Raj, very good. Raj, very good, guys. हाँ चलो बाकी भी बता दो फटाफट से, एक थम्स अप दे दो गाइस, इफ दिस इज क्लियर टू ईच एंड एवरीवन गाइस ओवर हियर। EREN, वेरी गुड, वेरी गुड, वेरी गुड गाइस। सो टिल नाउ लाइक हमने बहुत कुछ डिस्कस कर लिया अभी, ठीक है। हम लोगों ने साइट, रिलेशंस, ओके, सब कुछ देख लिया है, ठीक है। उसके बाद हमने सर्फेसेस देख लिए, बॉर्डर्स, पोल्स, लोब्स देख लिए, मेन सल्कस देख लिए, सारे सल्कस और गायरी हम लोगों ने पढ़ लिए हैं, ठीक है। अब हम लोग पढ़ते हैं इसमें ब्रॉडमैन्स क्लासिफिकेशन पढ़ेंगे। अब हम लोग पढ़ेंगे ब्रॉडमैन्स क्लासिफिकेशन। पहले लेटरल सरफेस का देखेंगे, फिर मीडियल सरफेस का। पहले बेटा अप्रोच क्या हम लोग लेके चल रहे हैं कि पहले हमने सुपीरियर लेटरल सरफेस कर लिया, एक सरफेस हो गया, ठीक है, एक सरफेस हो गया बेटा। हम लोगों ने 3 सरफेस पढ़ी थी, तो सुपीरियर लेटरल सरफेस का हमने पूरा देख लिया। तो पहले इसको पूरा कंप्लीट करेंगे, ठीक है। पूरे डिसऑर्डर्स वगैरह सारे पढ़ेंगे हम लोग, इसके सारी एरियाज देखेंगे। फिर हम मिडिल सरफेस, क्योंकि मिडिल सरफेस तक आने तक तो आप फिर भूल जाओगे। सो यस, like we will start with the superior lateral surface first, and we'll try to cover all the points related to it first, then we will move on to the other surface guys, right? So that is something you have to remember over here. Now let us discuss about the Brodmann's classification over here. Yes, the important so please write down the important functional areas, important functional areas of different lobes of cerebral hemispheres, of cerebral hemispheres. Right? So we are going to discuss first about the frontal lobe, right? Okay, the frontal lobe. Now let us just try to draw the same diagram guys again. Okay. Guys, okay, can anyone tell me which sulcus is this? Anyone can tell me which sulcus is this, guys? So I'm waiting for your answers, guys. Everyone, please try to tell me which sulcus is this, guys. Yes, the central sulcus, right? So you already know we have this, yes, the central sulcus. Yes, the central sulcus, right? Yes, yes, EREN Raj Patel, very good. We have the central sulcus over here. Now guys, you can see in front we have one sulcus that is called as the, yes, the pre-central sulcus, and behind we have the post-central sulcus. Pre-central sulcus and the post-central sulcus. Now, can anyone tell me the gyri which is present over here? The one which I'm highlighting, can anyone tell me the name of this gyrus? Yes, yes, can anyone tell me the name of this gyrus over here? Yes, the one which I'm highlighting over here. And the one which I'm highlighting with the green color, guys, right? This gyrus. Yes. We have the pre-central, very good, ERN. We have very good, Raj Patel. We have the pre-central gyrus and the post-central gyrus. ये तो सबको पता ही है, अभी हमने पढ़ा ही था कि ये pre-central gyrus है, right? We have this pre-central gyrus and we have this post-central gyrus. Central gyrus, right? Pre-central and post-central gyrus, right? So that is something you guys already know. That is something you guys already know. चल, अब इसमें देखते हैं अब इसमें क्या क्या चीजें इंपॉर्टेंट है, इसमें क्या क्या चीजें इंपॉर्टेंट है. द प्री सेंट्रल एंड द पोस्ट सेंट्रल गाइरस. Now the very first area that we have to talk about, it is the motor area 4. Please mark it out guys, in the frontal lobe, because precentral gyrus frontal lobe में है. We have motor area 4. motor area 4 इसी प्रीसेंट्रल गाइरस में लोकेटेड है मोटर एरिया 4. और सिंपली अगर तुम लिखना चाहो तो सिर्फ 4 भी लिख सकते हो. नो नीड टू राइट ऑल दिस. यस, let me just highlight it. Yes, we can just write down like this. It is the motor area 4. We have the motor area 4 over here, right? We have the motor area 4 over here. Now in the frontal lobe, guys please just try to write all this along with me. We will be writing also and we will be drawing also. So in the frontal lobe, or I can simply first start up with the motor area 4. Motor area 4, or commonly called as the area 4. Now where this motor area 4 is present. Now guys, tell me where this motor area 4 is present. Tell me guys in the chat box, everyone. Motor area 4, where it is present? Okay, where is the site guys? First you have to tell me the site where it is present. It is present in the pre-central gyrus. Very good Raj. It is present in the pre-central gyrus, right? It is the primary motor area cortex. Okay, so yes, it is the primary motor area. Okay, that is the cortex. Okay, now Gangaram, very good. Pre-motor area cortex. Right, now guys, let us just try to discuss something more important about this. It will give origin, or what is the function? It will give origin, okay, to, it is the site of origin to. Okay, we have the site origin to. Yes, you already know we have the pyramidal tract. Okay, majority of the pyramidal tract, I can say like 80% of the pyramidal tract, and you already know this pyramidal tract is the one which controls the motor activity of skeletal muscles. Motor activity of the skeletal muscles, guys. It controls the motor activity of the skeletal muscles. Okay, of guys, already you know कि ये जो pyramidal tract है guys, ये जो pyramidal tract है जो इस cerebral cortex से आ भी रहा है guys, it will be like decussating. ये हमेशा दूसरी ओर जाता है, either in the brain stem या फिर ये स्पाइनल कॉर्ड में भी जा सकता है. ठीक है, स्पाइनल कॉर्ड में भी इसके फाइबर्स हमेशा दूसरी तरफ जाते हैं. These fibers basically, it goes to the opposite side. So guys, always remember, it controls the motor activity of the skeletal muscles of the contralateral side, okay, of the opposite half of the body. Remember, except the eye. Guys, except eye. I will be discussing it later on, right? Except eye. Now guys, there is one more important thing, guys, over here. If this motor area is injured, or if there is a lesion of this motor area 4, I'm like writing this like, okay, if there is lesion, or I can say injury. If there is injury, I'm showing injury with this injury of motor area 4. What will happen? What will happen? ये मसल्स को सप्लाई करती है, मसल्स तक सप्लाई नहीं जाएगा. Now what will happen, guys? Muscle paralysis हो जाएगी. Now my question is, muscle paralysis of the same side or opposite side? अगर right motor area 4 is paralyzed, I mean if right motor area 4 is injured, which side of the body it will be affected? Again, a very important exam pattern question. Yes, which side of the body will be affected? Raj Patel says opposite. अच्छा चलो, right motor area cortex की lesion हो गई है, injury of the motor cortex. चलो बताओ आंसर. Injury, yes, Raj Patel, it will be left side. Very good. अगर लेफ्ट मोटर एरिया कॉर्टेक्स की इंजरी है तो राइट वाला पूरा बॉडी में मीन सारी मसल्स पैरालाइज हो जाएंगे. स्केलेटल मसल्स, वो मसल्स जो बोन से अटैच होती है, स्केलेटल मसल्स, राइट. So if there is injury of the motor area 4, now what will happen, guys? It will result in contralateral hemiplegia. Hemi मतलब आधा, आधा side of the body का muscles gone. Hemiplegia, okay, of upper motor neuron lesion, right? It's the upper motor neuron lesion only, right? So that is something you have to remember, guys, over here, right? So I hope this is clear. The motor area 4 is clear. Just give me a thumbs up in the chat box, guys, if the motor area 4 is clear to each one of you. If the motor area 4 is clear to each one of you, just give me a thumbs up. Yes. Raj Patel, very good. What about rest, guys? Others alive? Yes, others are alive or not? बेटा एक एक करके पढ़ना पड़ेगा सारा, कुछ नहीं कर सकते इसमें. चलो, very good. Very good, guys. Now let us discuss about an area. Okay, let us just discuss about an area which is in front of this precentral gyrus, and over here, guys, you already know we have the superior. Okay, which sulcus are these, guys? Which sulcus are these? Can anyone tell me the name of this sulcus? The two sulcus which I have drawn right now. The two sulcus, the superior frontal sulcus and the middle frontal sulcus, right? The superior frontal and the middle frontal sulcus, just in front of this motor area 4 or the precentral gyrus. Guys, remember the area which I'm highlighting right now. That is again very, very, very important. This area in the frontal lobe. Yes, this area in the frontal lobe, guys. Right? This is like covering. Yes, everyone is right. Yeah, this one is, yeah. So that is the premotor area 6. Now, this is called as the premotor area 6. Now, this is called as the motor area 6, guys. 6. इसको 6 से याद रखना है. Okay, मोटर के सामने है, मोटर एरिया के सामने है, तो इसको हम प्रीमोटर एरिया बोलते हैं, या एरिया नंबर 6 भी बोलेंगे. So let us just try to discuss about this premotor area. The second one that we are discussing, it is the premotor area, और इसी को हम लोग क्या बोलेंगे? एरिया नंबर 6. एरिया 6, right? Now, what is the site, guys? What is the site over here? Now, if you just try to see, guys, ये किसके सामने? प्रीसेंट्रल गायरस के सामने. तो मतलब ये सुपीरियर फ्रंटल गायरस का भी पार्ट है छोटा सा, मिडल फ्रंटल गायरस का भी पार्ट है, inferior frontal gyrus का भी पार्ट है. So this particular is basically located in all the 3 gyrus. Okay, it is located in all the 3 gyrus. So remember, guys, it is in front, It is in front and parallel to the motor area. Parallel to the motor area, right? Now, guys, you already know when I say in front, guys. So in front, it is occupying the superior frontal gyrus. Superior frontal gyrus. We have middle frontal gyrus. And we have the inferior frontal gyrus. Inferior frontal gyrus. So it is occupying these three gyrus and it is in parallel. Motor area के just सामने है, like parallel है. So that is the premotor area or the area 6. So it is basically situated in all the three frontal gyrus, right? The posterior part. If you just want to remember, it is not the entire part, it is the posterior part of, yes, the superior frontal gyrus, the middle frontal gyrus, and the inferior frontal gyrus, right? So that is you can just easily see in this particular diagram also. This is the area number 6. Superior frontal gyrus का भी anterior से हम लोग कहाँ जा रहे हैं? Posterior. So obviously superior frontal gyrus का पीछे वाला part है, middle का भी पीछे वाला part है और inferior का भी पीछे वाला part है, inferior का भी पीछे वाला part है. Now what is the function, guys? What is the function of this particular tract that you have to, like, the function? Side done, and let us just discuss about the function over here. Now it is the site for origin, okay? It is the main, okay, it is the main extrapyramidal area, extrapyramidal tract, origin for the main extrapyramidal tract, guys. Now you guys already know the extrapyramidal tract. We have the cortico-bulbar tract, yes. Yes, we have the cortico-pontine tract, right? We have the cortico-pontine tract. We have like various tracts. Okay, it is the main extrapyramidal tract for the body, except, okay, except basically, no, see, all the ones which are now coming from the cerebral cortex, all the tracts, the descending tracts, right? It is the extrapyramidal tract, right? So yes, what is happening, guys? It is the main extrapyramidal tract or extrapyramidal area for body, except, guys, for the eye. Eye के लिए it is, which is found in occipital lobe, which is found in occipital lobe. Occipital lobe. So just remember this. It's except the eye, which is found in the occipital lobe. Now what will happen, guys? Injury to area number 6. Now remember, guys, if there is injury to this area number 6, okay, it will lead to, yes, it will lead to apraxia, okay. It will lead to apraxia. And remember, guys, it is basically difficulty in performing the skilled movements. Difficulty in performing the skilled movements. Difficulty in performing the skilled movements. So it is apraxia, difficulty in performing the skilled movement, guys, right? So that is something you have to remember, right? So that is the area number 6. The area number 6. Now, guys, in the frontal lobe, we have one more area. Okay, we have one more area. Okay, and that is only the middle frontal gyrus is involved over here. Let me just show you over here. Only the posterior part of the middle frontal gyrus is involved over here. Okay, only the posterior part of the middle frontal gyrus is involved over here, and that is the area number 8. That is the area number 8, guys. That is the area number 8, right? It is called as the frontal eye field or the area 8, right? It is called as the frontal eye field or the area 8. Okay. Now let us just try to write about this particular area as well. So the third one, guys, yes, the frontal eye field, and it is also the area 8, right? Area 8. Now, guys, you already know it is in front of the premotor area. ये प्री मोटर एरिया के भी आगे है, इन फ्रंट ऑफ प्री मोटर एरिया. ओके, इन द विच पार्ट? इट इज इन द पोस्टीरियर, पीछे वाला पार्ट है, पोस्टीरियर पार्ट ऑफ, यस, द, yes, the middle frontal gyrus. Middle frontal gyrus. Now guys, you already know about this. Yes, it is the posterior part. Okay, ये जो है middle frontal gyrus का आगे से पीछे, पीछे वाला part है of the middle frontal gyrus, और ये प्री मोटर एरिया के आगे है. 6 प्री मोटर एरिया था, उसके आगे है मिडल फ्रंटल गायरस में, और उसका पीछे पार्ट है मिडल फ्रंटल गायरस का, राइट. सो दैट इज द 8, that is the 8th one. Okay, now guys, what is what is so important about this? Okay, now many books, like, it will show that not only the this yeah, the middle frontal gyrus, in the superior frontal gyrus it is like projected. So yes, you can like see over here as well. Now guys, what is the function of this frontal field area, guys, right? It is basically for scanning. Okay, the function, it is for scanning oculomotor or ocular movements, right? It is for scanning the ocular movements, and it is independent of visual stimulus. It is independent of visual stimulus, right? It is for scanning the ocular movement, and it is independent of the visual stimulus, right? Now, obviously, what is the lesion? If there is any injury to this or if there is any lesion, guys, what will happen? Contralateral. CL means contralateral, opposite side. Voluntary conjugate eye movement is lost. Eye movement is lost. Conjugate voluntary eye movement is lost, guys, right? Now, now in this case, guys, remember the eyes will be deviated to the site of lesion. Now let us imagine a condition. If the right frontal or the right side frontal area is affected, there will be deviation of the eye towards the lesion, guys. Okay, now again, if I do the pursuit of the eye, it is again normal, guys. Again, the pursuit of, or the pursuit movement of the eye, it is very much normal. Okay, the pursuit movement like this, it is basically controlled by the occipital lobe. Okay, we have already discussed this, the occipital lobe. Okay, except the eye, which is like found in the occipital lobe, this pursuit movement, it will be like controlled by the occipital lobe. So yes, the grace preference, very good, Madhu, right? So yes, but voluntary scanning movement will not be there, right? Voluntary scanning movement will not be there, and you'll see the deviation of the eye towards the lesion only, guys, right? So that is something you have to remember over here. So that is the frontal eye field area, guys, right? So is this clear, guys? Just give me a thumbs up in the chat box if this is clear, guys. Right, just give me a thumbs up in the chat box, guys, if this is clear, guys. Right? Chalo, Raj Patel, very good, guys, if it is clear. Yes. Yes. Chalo. Or shall we continue tomorrow, guys? Just give me a thumbs up if we can continue tomorrow. Yes, let us continue tomorrow as well. Yes. Like we have so many over here, so let us just try to continue tomorrow. Okay. So yes, we have already discussed a lot today, right? So we have like discussed, yeah, we are discussing the cerebrum 1, the largest part. We have discussed the site, the relation, the surfaces, the poles, the borders, the lobes of the each hemisphere, the sulcus, the gyri, right? The superolateral surfaces and all the important functional areas in the frontal part we have discussed. Now we'll be discussing in the motor part tomorrow. Yes. TCY, okay, good night, guys. Right. So we'll be discussing it tomorrow now, guys. Okay. Thank you. We'll continue from where we left today, right?